am Dr. Deepa Dhake, Director of Biozone Classes, here coming with our NEET 2020 ongoing crash course series, and today I am with topic Protista for all of you. Now, in last class or in last sessions we discussed about the Monera. All the three members of Monera we discussed, that is Archaebacteria, Eubacteria and Mycoplasma, and I hope you clear your doubts and understand very well about the Monera. Now we come to our next topic, that is Protista. So again one thing I cleared to all, that the Protista when we study, so you remember or you recall 5 kingdom classification of Whittaker's, and according to Whittaker's 5 kingdom classification, Protista is a group of unicellular eukaryotes. So last classes or in last sessions, whatever we study, that we entirely study about Monera, and Monera is a kingdom of unicellular prokaryote, and here for Protista you remember it is a kingdom of unicellular eukaryote, because this is one of the excessive or too much confusion among the students कि they can't differentiate between the Monera and Protista, because both the kingdom includes basically unicellular microorganisms. Clear है? So Monera means prokaryotic unicellular and Protista means eukaryotic unicellular. Secondly, when we come to the Protista, तो यहाँ पर ही आप याद रखिए Protista include all the unicellular members from Plantae, from Animalia as well as from the fungi. So when we consider the members of Plantae in Protista, so the class Chrysophyta and Dinoflagellates आप study करेंगे. So Chrysophyta and Dinoflagellates basically shows the features of Plantae or the features of members which are resembles with Plantae. Euglenoidy one class is there. Normally Euglena आप Animalia में study करते हैं from lower classes, but now for this session you remember or this class, according to NCERT, euglenoids are also placed separately in Protista as a separate class. Okay. Then the next class is a slime mold. Slime mold you remember. Slime mold is a group of fungi. So from fungi all the unicellulars are placed in slime molds. And after that one another last class of the Protista we study, that is Protozoa. So Protozoa you remember, Protozoa आपका include किसको कर रहा है? Protozoa normally आप study करते हैं तब पढ़ते हैं unicellular class of unicellular animals, and in Protista when we study about Protozoa, तो आप ये याद रखिए Protozoa में आप study करेंगे amoeba, paramecium and number of any another are there, that Plasmodium आप study करेंगे Sporozoa में, Trypanosoma, Leishmania, number of microorganisms unicellular आप study करेंगे. So this is all about the introduction of Protista, and now let's start with Protista. Okay? So यहाँ पे आप देखिए जब हम Protista को start कर रहे हैं, so अब now ये तो clear है आप लोगों को कि Protista means, the Protista is kingdom of unicellular, but all these unicellular show eukaryotic organizations. So kingdom of unicellular eukaryotes includes members from Plantae or plants, fungi, as well as some of the unicellular members of kingdom Animalia. Okay. Now when we come towards the objective section for Protista, so this is the kingdom where the individuals are present with or without cell wall, with autotrophic nutrition, without autotrophic nutrition. So here you remember individuals or members of the Protista, individuals present with or without cell wall. Clear? Mode of reproduction, as you all know, sexual reproduction is take place. So The asexual as well as sexual reproduction is also present in Protista, and all the recent traits or recent advanced character whatever we study in eukaryotic cell, all those characters are represented by the members of Protista. So now we first associate with the classification of Protista, or first I discuss here the classification, that how many classes are included in Protista, and then one by one we discuss about the each and every class along with the important member. So here the Protista, you remember Protista is divided into 5 classes. These 5 classes are, the first class of Protista is Chrysophytes और क्राइजोफाइटा हम सिंपली कहते हैं. दिस क्राइजोफाइटा बेसिकली इंक्लूड्स डायटम्स एंड desmids, or desmids are also called as golden algae. So Chrysophyta is the first class where we study about diatoms and golden algae. The second class for the Protista, you remember, the second class of Protista is dinoflagellate, where one most important example is Goniolax. That is Goniolax, you remember, responsible for red tides. That question is asking for number of years. The red tides are caused by. So here you remember that red tides जो caused हो रहा है, that member also comes under the category or class of dinoflagellate. The third class for the Protista is Euglenoids or Euglenoidae भी कह रहे हैं आप. So Euglenoidae which is include the whole soul member Euglena, and Euglena आप पढ़ते आ रहा है. It is a link series for plant and animal because it shows the characters of plant as well as animal, and this is the one and only unicellular animal which show the photoautotrophic mode of nutrition. Now when we come to the fourth class, so fourth class, you remember the fourth class, this class causes some confusion to children. So slime molds, you remember, the fourth class of Protista, and after that the fifth class in Protista we studied, that is the Protozoa, and according to the locomotory organ Protozoa further we study. The Protozoa is divided further into the 4 subclasses. Okay, so here you remember Protista means, again I stress on this point that the unicellular as well as unicellular are with eukaryotic organization. Secondly Protista आप पढ़ेंगे तो Protista में आप याद रखिए Chrysophyta, dinoflagellates, Euglenoides, slime molds and Protozoa को आपको mainly 5 different classes में study करना है. So now we first coming up with our class, that is the first class is Chrysophyta. ठीक है. Now as I mentioned earlier, Chrysophyta किसको include करेंगे? Chrysophytes includes the diatom as well as golden algae, or golden algae also called as desmids. Clear? Now Chrysophyta के when we start to study the features, so they are again as they are a Protista, so they all Chrysophytes are unicellulars, generally present generally in fresh water, but mostly they are present in marine water. So this thing you remember about their habitat. So they generally are present in fresh water, but most of the Chrysophytes are present in marine water. After that, third point you remember mode of nutrition. So mode of nutrition is photoautotrophic, and most of time, ठीक है. और if we go through the NCERT, so Chrysophyta में आप basically we study about the diatom. So again here we escape the golden algae. Golden algae means आप you remember the members which shows the yellowish golden yellow color when the sunlight is fall on the filament or sunlight is fall on the body, and this golden yellow color of the desmid is because of the specific pigments. Clear? Now the photoautotrophic nutrition you remember, as well as they belongs to the similar showing the features of plantae. So the presence of cell wall is again the feature of Chrysophytes. Now diatoms जब हम study करते हैं, so diatoms में आप याद रखिए, in diatoms cell wall you remember, in diatoms cell wall more important point है ये for objective purpose. The cell wall show deposition of silica and therefore cell wall of diatom is indestructible. This thing you remember, the cell wall of diatom is indestructible because of the presence of silica or deposition of silica. Secondly, the body of diatom is made up of two halves and both the halves you remember exactly fit together just like a soap case. These both halves are called as frustules. So this term you remember, the body of diatom is consist of two halves, each half is called as frustule, and if you observe this diagram, the upper half of the frustule or upper half of the body is called as epitheca and the lower half is fit just like a soap case in epitheca. So the lower half of the body is called as hypotheca and both epitheca and hypotheca combinedly called as frustules. Clear है? Now यहाँ पे देखिएगा a nucleus with eukaryotic organization is present and both the theca or both the halves get joined together with the help of cytoplasmic strand. Once the microorganism will die or the death of the cell is take place, after that due to the presence of silica, cell wall remain as it is and in coming future the thick cell wall or the indestructible cell wall of the silica is responsible for the formation of silicaceous earth or diatomaceous earth. So important thing for objective purpose you remember the component of the cell wall यहाँ पे deposition किसका है silica का and secondly when you study about the importance then importance में you remember the cell wall of diatom is responsible for diatomaceous earth or it is also called as silicaceous earth. Clear है? All the chrysophytes you remember all the chrysophytes are unicellular, they are passively float in water. Clear? Because locomotory organs are generally absent, so with the help of passive current of water they can move from one part to another part. Silicaceous earth or diatomaceous earth you remember for your upcoming exam. Secondly, यहाँ पर आप इसका utility याद रखिए. Diatomaceous earth is used for the different preparation. Medical syrup के preparation में use हो रहा है, sandpaper के इसमें, oil spills में आपका use होता है. So number of applications are there for this diatomaceous earth. One of the most common appearance we observe in our surrounding, that is a sandpaper. So sandpaper also you remember it is formed by the diatomaceous earth or silicaceous earth. For this paragraph, last line of the NCERT is most important. The chief producers of the marine ecosystem or aquatic ecosystem. So chief producer of marine ecosystem ये line आप underline कर लीजिएगा. Chief और main ऑक्सीजन प्रोड्यूसर्स आपके कहाँ पर है मैरीन इकोसिस्टम में, तो वो पार्ट याद रखिए दे बिलोंग्स टू द क्राइजोफाइटा. नाउ द सेकंड क्लास वी स्टडी हियर, द सेकंड क्लास इज डाइनोफ्लैजिलेट्स. डाइनोफ्लैजिलेट्स कॉमनली कॉल्ड एज, when we study dinoflagellates you remember they are commonly again all these features most of the characters similar to protista. Dinoflagellates they are called as diamonds of biology because they are showing the different pigmentation, so variety of color are present in organism. First thing you remember. Secondly, dinoflagellates are showing the cell wall, but the important feature of the cell wall that the cell wall is consist of 4 cellulosic plates. This is the most important feature for dinoflagellate. Again they are present in aquatic habitat. Flagella are the locomotory organ. Second, the most and important part for The arrangement of flagella. Flagella here you remember 2 flagella are present. Both the flagella are of equal length, but these 2 flagella are present at 90 degree or they present at right angle. That means the one flagellum is present at transverse axis and the other flagellum is present at longitudinal axis. Nucleus, the cellulosic plate or cell wall is present in the form of plate. The 4 plates are generally present in dinoflagellate, and suppose the one flagellum is present from this, so second flagellum is present at anterior end. So one at longitudinal axis, one at transverse axis. Nucleus show the eukaryotic organization. So this is the common structure. It is just this structure is only to recall the position of flagella. So this thing you remember, the 2 flagella are present at 90 degree axis and they generally develop from the space where the cell plates are nearly absent. Clear? And now next you remember dinoflagellates when we study. So in dinoflagellate आप याद रखिएगा goniolax. Clear? This is one of the member of dinoflagellate. Goniolax you remember, it is responsible for red tides. So red tides in oceans are developed due to the excessive growth of the goniolax. This goniolax also develop or produces a toxin. That toxin consumed by fishes and causes the death of fishes. Clear? It's a consumed by fishes and causes a death of fishes. Clear? Now you remember when such fishes are eaten by human beings. So in humans, these fishes causes one disease, that is paralytic shellfish disease. This thing you remember, the paralytic shellfish disease is caused by, basically it is caused by the toxin of goniolax, but human directly not consume this toxin. Instead of that, via consuming the fishes which feed on the goniolax, human is suffer from the paralytic shellfishes. So for the dinoflagellate, 2 or 3 important things you revise, that the presence of 2 flagella at 90 degree angle, cell plates, cellulosic wall, and cellulosic wall किस form में available है? It is available in the form of cell plate. Cell plate are 4 in numbers. Goniolax बिल्कुल याद रखिए. Even the some of the members of dinoflagellata show the process of bioluminescence. Clear है? Now the third आप यहाँ पे study करते हैं euglenoids. Euglenoids में आप याद रखिए predominantly आपको जो study करना है, that we study about the euglena. Clear है? So the third class of Chrysophyta, you remember Euglenoidae, and in Euglenoidae main important, ठीक है, again they are unicellular aquatic. Here you remember the body show important feature because generally they belong showing most of the characters of Animalia. So body show proteinaceous pellicle, ये बिल्कुल याद रखिएगा. So proteinaceous, presence of proteinaceous pellicle, outer 2 plasma membrane, 2 flagella are present here, but in case of euglenoid these 2 flagella are uneven or unequal flagella, whereas in case of dinoflagellate both the flagella are even or equal. Unequal flagella, one is longer flagellum and the another is shorter flagellum. Longer flagellum you remember, longer flagellum को आप क्या कह रहे हैं? Longer flagellum is called as Whiplash type and the shorter flagellum is called as Tinsel type. In case if you have any doubt or queries, please comment in and ask your doubt in comment box, so I will clear those doubts. After that, mode of nutrition. So they show the photosynthetic pigment of pigment you remember similar to higher plant, that is chlorophyll A, and therefore in presence of sunlight. Mode of nutrition, you pay attention for Euglena. Clear है? When the Euglena present in sunlight, then it shows the photoautotrophic और photosynthesis के through वो food prepare करेंगे. So they are photoautotrophic in nutrition. Clear? But when they deprived from sunlight or they go away from sunlight, in that case, or in simple terms आप कह सकते हैं in absence of sunlight, but try to recall the terminology of NCERT because it helps you in solving or speedily reading in the final examination. So deprived from sunlight, they show the holozoic or heterotrophic भी याद रख सकते हैं आप, holozoic mode of nutrition. So if the question is asked in exam, the mode of nutrition in Euglena, so don't put, if the sunlight is mentioned, then you put the photoautotrophic. But if the question is direct simple question, the mode of nutrition in Euglenoidae, and if the mixotrophic term is provided in one of the options, so you take on the mixotroph because the Euglena show the both the type of nutrition during its life cycle. Okay, so this thing you remember. Reproduction generally Euglena में याद रखिए, Euglena generally reproduced by the binary fission, and in Euglena binary fission is mostly take place from the longitudinal axis. So this you remember from the Euglenoidae. Euglenoidae में proteinaceous pellicle की presence को याद रखिए objective के लिए. And secondly you remember the pigmentation exactly similar to higher plant, means chlorophyll A is available there. For photosynthesis and mode of nutrition is mixotrophic, that is in presence of sunlight phototrophic, and in absence of sunlight or when they deprived from sunlight, then the mode of nutrition कैसे होगा Euglena में, that is of holozoic. So both the type of mode of nutrition is present, that's why it is आप कह रहे हैं mixotrophic mode of nutrition. Now we come towards the fourth class of Protista. That fourth class of Protista you remember is slime mold. Clear? And secondly, the students who are having older NCERT, because the from last year some modifications are and new NCERT are published. So this is the page where you observe some modification in diagrams. Older publications जिन बच्चों के पास है उनके यूग्लिना में एक सिंगल फ्लैजिला होगा, बट लिटरेचर में 2 फ्लैजिलम दिया है, वो करेक्शन हो गया है. तो न्यू बुक्स में आपको 2 फ्लैजिला ही अपीयर होंगे. सेकेंडली अगर आपके पास ओल्ड बुक है तो वहां पे आपको डाइनोफ्लैजिलेट्स का डायग्राम नहीं है, वेयर एज इन न्यू पब्लिकेशंस में आप याद रखिए द डायग्राम फॉर डाइनोफ्लैजिलेट्स. सो ट्राई टू फॉलो इन 80 डेज. अभी आपके पास टाइम है, गोल्डन चांस आपको मिला है लकीली. So either you go through the new books, try to go through the new books only. So whatever modifications will be there, वो आप update रहेंगे उनके साथ. So some of the diagrams, some of the statements are changed or modified हुए. So you updated with those NCERT. Okay. Slime mold आप पढ़ रहे हैं. Slime mold आप याद रखिए. Commonly it is a group of aquatic fungi. आपको slime molds कहाँ पे grow करेंगे? Slime molds remember they are growing on decaying twigs and leaves in water current. Secondly, growth आपको स्लाइम मोल्ड का अपीयर होता है white growth on decaying material. So on decaying material we appear one white cottony growth. That growth is mainly for the slime mold. Important feature for slime mold. 3 questions generally asked from the repeatedly. अगर आप slime mold for last year question solve करते हैं last year papers के लिए, तो nearly 2 or 3 questions ही आपको slime molds के मिलते हैं. From that one question asked from this part कि plasmodium formation is appear in which state or which condition. So during favorable condition, when the conditions are favorable, a large number of unicellular form in favorable condition, they growing in colony and form plasmodium, the naked mass of unicellular members when they are growing in colony. So that is called as plasmodium. So plasmodium formation you remember in slime mold किन conditions में होगा? ऑब्जेक्टिव के लिए फेवरेबल कंडीशंस में. सेकेंडली द सेकेंड अगेन इंपॉर्टेंट पार्ट इज देयर, द fruiting bodies formation during unfavorable condition when the reproduction is take place. So during unfavorable condition these part are important. देखिए fruiting body याद रख लेते हैं बच्चे, प्लाज्मोडियम याद रखते हैं, स्पोर्स को फॉर्म याद करते हैं, बट व्हेन these structures are formed they skip and such kind of questions are asked repeatedly in exam. So unfavorable conditions में आप याद रखिएगा during unfavorable conditions क्या फॉर्म हो रहे हैं. During unfavorable condition, fruiting bodies are formed. Fruiting bodies form on spatial stalk. These fruiting bodies responsible for spore formation as well as spore production. And in slime mold, again you remember, most important, spores show the presence of true cell wall. This is the important feature for slime mold. The spores are present with true cell wall as well as slime mold. देखिए they are present in aquatic conditions or they are growing in aquatic condition, but the dispersal or spore or transmission of spore transmission, this question also asked. So spore transmission in in slime mold, spore transmission आप याद रखिए किसके थ्रू हो रहा है. Spore transmission or dispersal is mainly take place by air current. Clear है? So this thing you remember for the slime mold. रिवीजन पर्पस के लिए अगर आपको की नोट्स अभी भी नहीं बनाए हैं तो मेहनत करिए, टाइम है आपके पास. ठीक है, फॉरगेट अबाउट योर स्लीप्स एंड योर फैसिलिटीज. ठीक है, ट्राई टू पुट योर ऑल द हार्ड वर्क इन योर स्टडीज एंड इफ यू स्टडी फॉर द स्लाइम मोल्ड ऑल सराउंडिंग साइड में जो स्पेस है वहां पे ये 3 पॉइंट्स आप नोट कर लीजिए की नोट्स के फॉर्म में. फेवरेबल कंडीशंस क्लियर है, प्लाज्मोडियम, अनफेवरेबल कंडीशन फ्रूटिंग बॉडी, स्पोर लिखिए, ट्रू वॉल लिखिए एंड एयर करंट और विंड के थ्रू आपका ट्रांसमिशन है. ये इतना पार्ट आप याद रखिए. स्लाइम मोल्ड्स के लिए, स्लाइम मोल्ड किस फॉर्म के फॉर्म, ओरिजिनली स्लाइम मोल्ड इनिशियली किस में पढ़ते थे आप, फंजाई में, बट विटेकर place these slime mold, all unicellular forms of fungi under the slime mold. Now we come towards our 5th class of protista, that is protozoa. ठीक है, नॉर्मली प्रोटोजोआ एनिमेलिया में भी आपको मिलेगा, बट वी स्ट्रिक्टली अगेन आई रिकॉल स्ट्रिक्टली फॉलो द एनसीईआरटी. सो अकॉर्डिंग टू एनसीईआरटी प्रोटिस्टा इंक्लूड द प्रोटोजोआ. Protozoa, a group of unicellular and primitive animal, and further protozoa on the basis of locomotory organ divided into Sarcodina. Secondly, it divided into Flagellata, the members which show the locomotory organ as flagella. Then third is Ciliata, that the locomotory organ is cilia, and without cilia you remember, or without locomotory organ one class is there, the class of protozoa. ये क्वेश्चन भी मिलेगा, the class of protozoa which interfere with human health. ठीक है, that class you remember, that is sporozoa. मलेरिया पैरासाइट प्लाज्मोडियम आप पढ़ते हैं, मलेरियल पैरासाइट प्लाज्मोडियम इज इंक्लूडेड अंडर द स्पोरोजोआ. ठीक है, सार्कोडिना, सार्कोडिना मीन्स याद रखिए ट्रू लोकोमोटरी ऑर्गन्स आर एब्सेंट. लोकोमोशन किसके थ्रू हो रहा है, लोकोमोशन बाय pseudopodia. And what is pseudopodia, you already studied. Clear है? So locomotion is take place by pseudopodia, the extra outgrowth of plasma membrane in amoeba or in unicellular. Basically in amoeba is called as pseudopodia. Pseudo means false and podia means leg or foot. So false foot or false leg are present, that's why it is called as pseudopodia. Now यहाँ पे देखिए जब आप pseudopodia study कर रहे हैं, so common example for the Sarcodina is amoeba, phagocytosis, pinocytosis, endocytosis के 2 types है. Exocytosis in amoeba also take place by the pseudopodia only. And the second example, that is entamoeba. Entamoeba याद रखिए, it is pathogenic to human. So amoeba and entamoeba you remember are the 2 example of Sarcodina. In these classes I only discuss those points for all these members, because if we go through the Sarcodina in detail, so it takes a 20 to 30 minutes, but this is only our ongoing crash course series. So I try to complete all the important points regarding all these टॉपिक्स, ठीक है। फ्लैजिलेटा व्हेन वी स्टडी, फ्लैजिलेटा में इंपॉर्टेंट मेंबर ओनली यू रिमेंबर। तो फ्लैजिलेटा का मीनिंग अब क्लियर है। डोंट बी इंक्लूड यूग्लिना इन फ्लैजिलेटा, दिस मिस्टेक मेड बाय द नंबर ऑफ टाइम, बिकॉज यूग्लिना में याद रखते हैं आप लोग फ्लैजिला एंड इट यू इंक्लूड इन द फ्लैजिलेटा एज ए एग्जाम्पल। क्लियर है। यूग्लिनॉइड्स के लिए सेपरेट क्लास है अपने पास। फ्लैजिलेटा में आप याद रखिए दोज मेंबर विच लोकोमोट बाय फ्लैजिला, and flagellata include one of the most common important member trypanosoma, ठीक है। trypanosoma आप याद रखिए, trypanosoma flagellate protozoan, which of the following is a flagellate protozoan, अगर क्वेश्चन आता है तो याद रखिए एग्जाम्पल आपके पास है trypanosoma। कॉज क्या कर रहा है, इट कॉजेस डिजीज, कॉज करते हैं ह्यूमंस में अफ्रीकन स्लीपिंग सिकनेस, and the vector for trypanosoma or vector for the disease is CC fly, ठीक है। so vector you remember, vector is not provided in your course books, so vector is CC fly, cause is the trypanosoma, causes African sleeping sickness in human beings, okay। and then we come towards the ciliata, the most common example for ciliata from lower classes you study, that is paramecium. Paramecium is called as sleeper cell animalcule. Paramecium is the only paramecium is the unicellular organism where the binucleate condition is present। ये याद रखिएगा, ये binucleate के लिए क्वेश्चन एनसीईआरटी में कहाँ पूछा है, when you study about the nucleus in cell chapter, at that point or in that paragraph question है कि name the any animal or cell where the two nuclei are present। तो paramecium आप याद रखिए, paramecium show the binucleate condition, and secondly gullet present है for as a mouth for the ingestion of the food। तो यहाँ पे paramecium no need to discuss ciliata in detail because paramecium you already studied from your lower classes। now we come towards the sporozoa। sporozoa means simple terms में याद रखिए the class where the locomotory organs are completely absent and the predominant character is the presence of stage, spore stage। तो यहाँ पर क्या present है animals के life cycle में, spore stage is present in class sporozoa, and predominant example here you remember for sporozoa is malarial parasite, that is a plasmodium। species यहाँ पर mention नहीं कर रहे हैं because 3 species of plasmodium we will study in human health and disease। clear है। so plasmodium species only you remember which responsible for the malaria in human being, and vector for plasmodium you remember female anopheles mosquito। so all about the protista। one time again I request you all go to through your NCERT books, go through your keynotes, and finally again I told to all the students that stay motivated, work hard and be honest। every time I am saying be honest with you, because whatever marks you score in your exam, whatever rank you score in your NEET exam, it is only for you, not for me, not for your teachers, not for your parents। parents को आपके ऊपर बहुत proud होगा, teachers को proud होगा, but whatever you gain with your hard work वो लाइफ लॉन्ग केवल आपके साथ ही रहेगा और आप ही उसके थ्रू कुछ अचीव करेंगे। पेरेंट्स एंड टीचर्स ओनली प्राउड ऑन यू कि आपने उनकी बातें सुनी है और आपने उसको 100% प्रूव किया है। तो आपको ये प्रूव करना है कि आप अपने साथ ऑनेस्ट है, यू आर क्लियर है, समझ रहे हैं आप। तो ये पार्ट आप याद रखिएगा। इन नेक्स्ट सेशन वी विल कंटिन्यू विद द फंजाई। टिल दैट टाइम you connected with me and subscribe and like my channel for the further updates and scoring good rank.